Hello and welcome back again, guys. We are here and on a Tuesday, and we're getting ready to ink the drawing from yesterday. If you didn't catch yesterday's video, I would definitely implore you to go and check it out, guys, because we're doing a second part of the half and half picture. And this week, in the second week, is Venom. As you can see here, we've got one side, and to check out the other side, I'll show you very soon. But I did some tweaking overnight, so if you did watch yesterday and you thought that it looked crap, so did I. That's why I did a little bit extra off stream yesterday, purely because I wanted to put as much detail in as possible with my inking pens today. And today, what inking pen I'm going to be using is my 7.0 Uniball, or Uniball I. You'll see why it's an I in a minute. Yes, it's an 8-jet bog standard fine line pen, guys, and you can get these anywhere. And I would really implore you go to this local supermarket or your little. Don't go to like a pound store or anything like that. They don't have the greatest of pens, and they run out within 2 or 3 minutes. And the nibs go and all sorts. So I would definitely go to your local supermarket or anywhere that's or crafting shop. Crafting shop are quite expensive. But you can find a deal if you go and buy like 3 or 4 pens and a pencil set and such all in one go. They'll give you a little bit off. But that's if they like you in that day. But yeah, I'm going to be inking this today. Yeah, we sketched all of this yesterday because on a Monday we always do a sketch. On a Tuesday we always do the inking, which is today, and tomorrow we'll be doing colouring, unless I get around to doing some colouring today, because as you probably know, Venom is mainly black, so it's going to be a bit of a challenge for me. I'm not sure if I use inking pens which are out of here for the colouring. I have got another set, but that's across the room. I won't get those because I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to be colouring today. I might go and get some more of these because these are brush pens and they are absolutely amazing. They're a Copic marker ink, but instead of I can't even see it. Instead of having, I'll just get you in the camera. Instead of having paintbrush, you've got a brush tip to the felt tip. So you've got Copic pen colouring ink in here, but it's more of a brush pen. So if you was to say, I really don't want to draw on this, but draw a line, you get a nice sort of faint line, but you also get a nice strong line there as well. They are more likely for They are for detailing and stuff like that. Generally what I use them for, or if I need to blend, these are really, really good to blend with, but they are really, really dark, so I tend to not use them too much. But as this is going to be quite a dark picture, we may get away with using them this week. But like I said, we're going to be inking, and I'm going to be listening to some Comic Storian. If you haven't checked out Comic Storian at all, keep listening. Let me know if you like them, and let me know what else of the superheroes and general stuff that they do that you would like to hear on this channel, because I listen to them every single time I draw and get things sort of playing in the background. So it gives me a little bit of inspiration. It gives me time to sort of not talk, because when I talk, I don't generally do my art very well. So that's why I've got something playing in the background. If you're a fan, then let me know and I'll give you a link to where you can find them. Otherwise, if you're watching back, guys, let me know in the bottom in the comment section whether you want a link or not. Otherwise, hopefully you found it okay. My name's Blut084, BLUT084, art and games, and we're about on here every day on YouTube, occasionally on Mixer, but every day and night over on Instagram. Mixer is for my gaming, and that's where I'll be gaming this afternoon. I'm not sure if I should play some of the Apex. It looks really good. As we've done all the Spider-Man games, so I'm really looking for something to play to keep me occupied in the evenings. So if you've got any things you would like me to play that I've already played and you want me to carry on with, and you want to see more progressions of those games, check in the playlist, check in the videos, and let me know what you want to see more of. I am going to be doing some more VR work, some VR art, and I will be doing some more VR games. I've got Skyrim, I've got Doom, and I still need to finish off the Resident Evil, which I really am enjoying, so I might go in there later on. It all depends on how my head's feeling, because when you're in VR, oh my god, you feel a bit sick. Takes me about an hour, but anyway, that's another thing. We're doing art today, so that's we're going to be listening to the Venom verse, but it's going to be Agent Venom that we're going to be listening to while I do some draw. But there is other stories of the bog standard, how you know Venom. Agent Venom, you will get a little bit of an explanation from Comic Story in a moment. But like again, my name's Blue084, here every single day on YouTube, occasionally on Mixer, but every day and night over on Instagram. And that is what we did yesterday, guys. I did the Venom, and I just couldn't bring myself to leave it as it was. So my son was saying to me yesterday as he came in from school, could I put some sort of squiggles and goo over the face of Eddie Brock? And that is who I've tried to sort of do it. I've tried to keep it as close to like a decent face as I can. I'm not great at faces. That's why I'm doing half and half at the moment, because if I do half a face, that means I can draw half of something else. So that's why I'm doing half and half at the moment. If you are a fan of this series at the moment, guys, I'd love for you to give me a like and show some support. Otherwise, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. So yeah, what do you think of this, guys? Let me know in the comment section. I'm now opening up the comment section in the live chat. So if you want to say hi, you can do by saying hi in the chat. Oh, sorry guys, I didn't realize that you guys were chatting today. Hey, 17 Alexander Smith. Hello. I'm quiet. I'm quiet. You're really quiet. I'm watching this live. I will play GTA with you. Oh. Xbox One. For GTA, that's generally my weekend thing, buddy. I think I know who you are. Welcome to the stream. How quiet am I, bud? Because if I need to use my microphone, I shall. When you say quiet, do you mean you can't hear me or I'm not talking loud enough, buddy? Very. What if I hang on, what if I move the camera around a second? Just kind of hoping the camera could be there. You can just show you around with my whole place now. Am I any louder now? Am I any louder now? Yeah, it's because my cameras are far away from me. Give me a second. What I'll do is I'll move the camera around, give it a flip. Because what I did is I had the camera on. The camera's here now, but it was on that side, and I had it upside down. It was actually a really good idea. So that's a shame you can't hear me. What I might do is have to get my microphone out again, but I would have to start the stream again. And as we're already streaming and I've already explained what I'm going to be getting up to, I'd rather not do that. Much louder. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's the camera, buddy. I'm using my webcam to record this. So yeah, you can see it. Hopefully you can see that okay. How clear is that coming in? Do you want to quick zoom up before I do anything else? Thank you very much. I worked on this one quite a lot last night. Very clear. Cool, we're sweet. Nice one. I'll give you a decent zoom in. Give you a scan before I do the inking, because as I said, I'm going to be using this pen in a moment, which is this one here. I'll just give you a quick look. I'll turn a little bit. Again, try to give him a jacket as well. Didn't turn out that well, but I'm not really care. It's more detail on the face that I'm looking for. As you can see, I put a little bit of goo come on stretching up over his face. So sort of it's wrapping around the side of him from behind as well. Yeah, I know you are, buddy. I realised who you were when you said Xbox and play GTA, bud. And there's the eye. There we go. So that's that. This is this. Let's get going. And let me know if you have anything you want to listen to in the background. If you have any music, I'm more than happy to send it by. If you're on YouTube, it'd be easier for me to find it. If you are on Spotify, I need a direct link to that sent to me. I have got people that have sent me links. Some of it doesn't record very well, so I'm sort of in between doing bits and bobs with that. But yeah, what were you saying there? Yeah, I send pics of your work my work to you, of course, buddy. When I'm on Instagram, that's me letting everybody know what I'm up to, what I've got to, and what to look for when you go for the when you look for the stream, because I'm live right now. I'm live every single Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Live every single time I game, but on Thursdays and Fridays, this here will be digitized, and I will record that. So don't forget to hit subscribe if you're new to the channel. Hang on, check out the other artwork that I've done digitally. But every single day, every single week has the same thing. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're drawing on paper. Thursday and Friday, I'll upload the digital. And on Fridays and Saturdays, it's sort of maybe a tail end of what digital work still needs doing. But I'll always be gaming, and I will upload games from my Mixer channel. If you're a fan of that and you come from the Mixer channel, thank you very much. Don't forget to leave a like. Can you play? I'm not going to click that link right now, buddy, because what we will do, it will take me off my stream and disrupt the stream, but I will check that one out afterwards. Feel free to send me that over on Instagram, and I'll click that now if I can, if it's clickable. But yeah, whatever that is you just sent me, I'll check it out, buddy, but I can't right now because obviously I'm on streaming right now. Cool. Yeah, but as for sending pictures of my work, that would be absolutely awesome, buddy. If you can do that for me, take a picture of take a screenshot or send the pictures that I'm sending you out to your friends. Let them know what I get up to, and ask them what they would like for next month's theme to be, as we're going to be going into March. I've already got something planned for April, but March is sort of still in loose. So if you guys have got any ideas, it can be literally anything. It could be a combination of animals. It could be a favorite character out of your games. It could be a favorite character of anything, comics, books, anything at all. Or if you've got a character that you would like me to have a go at, as in you've drawn a picture and you want me to have a go at drawing it myself and putting a bit of extras to it, let me know. Send it over on Instagram, and I will do that my very best to do so. Thank you very much for sending that pic around, buddy. Like I said, if you are a new follower or if you're a new fan of the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe and hit the bell so you know when I've gone live or I've uploaded. I am now going to move over to my stereo and get Comic Story going. Again, the Comic Story, if you need a link, I will post it at the end of the stream. In the comment section, I have to come back in and do that. Again, I have to stop my computer and look for stuff. So I will send that link, but they are Comic Story and they are absolutely awesome. You've got comic heroes from the DC universe, you've got comic heroes from the Marvel universe, and connected universes from there. And guys, if you are a fan or you like to read comics, I have a few up for grabs. I've got some Star Wars, I've got Black Eyed Peas, which I think was really awesome. It's actually a graphic novel, that one, and a couple of Spider-Man from the Civil War that are up for grabs. So if you want to win those, let your friends know, and at the end of the month I will let people know who's won what and what is up for grabs over on Instagram. I'm sorry I'm lacking on doing that, but it's sort of a monthly thing that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing it every month, giving away comics, or on the days that I do have games to give away, I'll give away a few games. If you're local, even better. If you're far away, let your parents know that you want to win stuff, and I will talk to them about sending things out. He sent it to my Instagram. I think I just got that one. Let's have a look. Let's have a look what you sent me. Alier, all, if I'm pronouncing this right, Allring Art 7, is that you? Who did you say you were? Alexander Smith. Anonymous me. Avengers suit theme. Okay, what do you want me to do on that one, mate? I will be drawing in a moment. Sorry, guys. Because Alex there is play it. Oh, you want me to play the thing, as in play it? Yeah, no worries, bud. Oh, if it's got copyright, if it's got copyright music in it, but it will cause me a problem. So I'll listen to a little bit for you. If I can. One hour Avengers theme. Oh, the Avengers theme song. Yeah, that's going to give me a hell of a lot of yeah, that's going to give me a hell of a lot of copyright if I play that, buddy. I'll play a little bit just for you. Come on, bloody hellfire. There you go. It works. Yeah, I'm a fan of this song as well, but I can't listen to much of it. Probably about 2-3 minutes. Well, about a minute max I can listen to music, unless it's copyright free. Is this something you've created? Or is it just something you like? Because I am a fan of the Avengers. Big fan of the Avengers. Pick your Avengers. Maybe I'll do an Avengers one. Maybe I'll do a full pictures of Avengers. That'd be cool. Just like it. Yeah, fair enough. Ba, 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 ba. There we go. Right, I got to stop that. That's how I'm going to get some trouble. I'm going to get in trouble by the copyright people. So yeah, let's get going. Get going. Let's get my coffee going. And yeah, I want to start drawing. Comic Historian, guys. That's what you're going to listen to in a moment. I'm going to then start inking this. I've already coloured it. Sorry, I've already drawn it. So all I'm going to be doing is going over it, what I've already drawn with this inking pen, also with my Sharpie for the thicker lines. And maybe, if I really need it, that one there. Right, so that's Comic Historian. These are Comic Historian. They're going to give you an introduction on who they are and what they get up to. So keep listening and keep watching for what I'm going to be doing in the drawing.
Welcome to the Full Story series, where me and the Comic Historian team compile a collection of our older videos into one giant epic movie. Today you're going to see the entire run for Agent Venom. Can you hear that okay? Which, in my opinion, is one of my favorite comic book characters. Agent Venom's amazing. I love him. I have a separate video explaining why I connect with this character so much. But this is the story of Agent Venom.
Yo, Alex, can you hear that okay, buddy? Because if not, I can move the stereo and stuff closer. Yeah, cool.
Over in Eastern Europe, Flash Thompson finds himself jumping headlong into a city being destroyed. A mercenary group is attempting to extract a man who has learned how to weaponize Antarctic vibranium, and Flash needs to stop them before they can. But during his arrival, he found some of the terrorist soldiers opening
Agent
fire
Venom
on the innocents
is Flash Thompson, who got the Venom suit, and instead of it taking over him, he learned to control it.
Wraps himself around the woman, he sees a grenade fall out right in front of them. He quickly plugs the pinhole and decides to bring it with him, thinking how this mission is already off to a great start. Using the guns from the other dead soldiers, Flash runs through the alleyways, firing in all directions, killing off the remaining soldiers. Then he finds what he's looking for.
You may not see the ink straight away, but as I do more of it,
after getting the woman and the child
aware of some of the pencil lines as well. If you can't hear me very well, that is why I've got music on in the background.
You're actually pretty lucky to be alive. And a green ghost floats over and wraps itself around Flash. A voice then tells him that he has a pretty neat costume. So first, you get a trick. And then Jack-O-Lantern slams his broom down on Flash, telling him, and here's the treat. Jack then grabs the doctor and begins to fly off. and the symbiote starts to creep out from the ghost wrappings. Using the tank next to them, Flash fires a tank shell at Jack to try and stop him. But as he goes to give chase, the woman from before begs him to take her son out of there. So Flash decides to take them with him. While swinging through, Jack comes back and knocking Flash out of the air, causing him and the civilians to begin to fall back down to the streets. Jack then slashes away at Flash's face, and Control radios in telling him to stay calm. He's losing control of the symbiote. Just then, Flash turns webbing up Jack, and the symbiote punches him back, stating, "We're in control now." Jack quickly jumps back and pins Flash down, ready to cut off his head, and that gives Flash another idea. The grenade from before is then thrust into Jack's mouth, and it explodes. Jack begins coughing and calls out to his room to try and escape. But before he can fly far enough off, Flash webs up the doctor and brings him
every
out
single
of Jack's
stream that I
grips,
do has
causing him
comic
to fall
story
back
on.
down to the ground.
Every single
Later,
video I
over
do
at Project
has
Reboot,
the comic
General
story or
Dodge has the
comics
symbiote removed from Flash, telling everyone to get out. He needs to talk to Flash alone. Dodge tells Flash that he had to kill the last soldier that occupied that suit. The man lost control. And soon, Dodge is inches away from ending Flash's life if he lets the symbiote take control like that again. Just know next time, if he ever lets the brute anger sully his Operation Venom again, he'll cut it off. Flash's next mission takes him to the Savage Land, where he's being hunted by Kraven.
Are you cooking food?
Javelin's
Fair enough,
ready in
bud.
him. Kraven jumps in, stabbing
This is a
Flash
good
with
way
one
of
of them.
listening. Thank you
Flash
very much.
knows that he needs to run. He has to get away from him before anxiety can begin to set in. He needs to remember Betty. As the two of them begin to struggle, Flash manages to stab Kraven, but he just grabs a hold of the spike and cuts the symbiote off. Rage begins to set into Flash as it begins to take over, and Kraven jumps up, hitting and knocking Flash back onto the ground. He decides that he has to run. He can't stay here any longer. He can't let Betty bury another liar. A little while later, Flash wakes up in a cave, regaining control of the symbiote. Once he pulls out the last of the spearheads, he looks at his watch and he sees that it's almost been 2 days since he bonded with the symbiote. And after a full 2 days, it can permanently bond with him. Luckily, Command has not set off that failsafe to kill him, yet he only has one bullet left, just in case the symbiote tries to take complete control. He has a mission to complete, but he also can't let Kraven run free, so he'll have to kill. And just as he's leaving the cave, Kraven appears before him with a strange look in his eye. He knocks him back down into the cave and he tells him to give him what he desires, one final embrace. Flash retreats back further into the cave and he finds himself in a room with giant bats, ones that can make a lot of loud sonic noises, things that the symbiote really hates. Kraven calls out to him, but as he talks, Flash webs his mouth to stop him from making any noise. He then drags him across the ground, but then Kraven jumps up, thrusting his javelin. After missing, he then throws it, but before it can hit the wall, Flash webs onto it and swings it back around, stabbing Kraven. Kraven screams out, causing the bats to wake up. And as they screech, the symbiote screams, separating itself from Flash. Kraven gets up ready to kill Flash Thompson, but then the bats swoop down, grabbing the both of them and carrying them out of the cave. Just as they get out, Flash takes out the gun that he has only one bullet left in, and he fires it into the bat's neck. The bat releases them, and Flash grabs onto a vine, and he pulls himself back to the foot of the cave. This is it. He's going to go back home and tell Betty everything. No more secrets from her. As long as he has her, nothing else can matter. And then he sees the symbiote crawling towards him. As it begins to bond back with him, he can hear a voice, one stating how it needs him just as much as he needs it. There's no time for questions, though. He has a mission, and he needs to stop the Antarctic vibranium from shipping out of here. Elsewhere, though, someone watched the whole thing and saw Flash outside of his symbiote suit. A little while later, over in Brooklyn, Betty begins to hear a voice at the foot of her bed and then someone lighting a match. Jack appears before her and asks, how does she love that legless drunk anyway? Back in the Savage Land, Flash makes his way down into the vibranium mines, killing all of the henchmen in his way. His fight with Kraven cost him days, and now the vibranium shipment is getting ready to leave. Slowly, the symbiote is gaining more and more control over him. Once the last henchman falls, Flash gives himself a sedative to try and relax the symbiote, but it will only give him about an hour, so he needs to hurry. Top side of the mine, the henchmen begin to prepare to take off with the vibranium, and Flash runs in, charging through all of the men. But before jumping off the ledge, Flash leaves behind a bomb and he shoots his web. He needs his Hail Mary play. Will he make it? The web grabs a hold of the helicopter's tire, and Flash pulls himself up. And as he opens the door, the pilot tries shooting him, but then is quickly thrown out. Just as Flash jumps into the pilot seat, a voice over the radio begins to come in, telling him thank God he managed to get his shipment under control. But since he destroyed his mining operation, using his clearance in the army, he's going to deliver that chopper to New York. Flash asks if he really thinks he's just going to bring him the vibranium. And the man tells him, yes, I would want to deliver it too. You know, if I didn't want to see my girlfriend blown up. Back in Brooklyn, Peter Parker goes to visit Betty and realizes that something is wrong in Betty's apartment. Something very bad. And over in Bushwick, New York, Crime Master tells Flash Thompson one hell of a job. Really got us out of a pickle. But just like I promised, Betty is in a warehouse by the river. End of Valentine Lane. You have about 5 minutes. So you might not want to call your superiors or that bomb will go off a little early. Flash leaves, swinging through the city, but the symbiote slowly begins to take more control of him. He's had it too long, but that doesn't matter right now. All Flash knows is that he needs to get to Betty. He can't let anything stop him. And then Spider-Man appears, kicking Venom down. Flash tries to tell him to wait, but Spider-Man punches him and sends him flying into the ground. And then Spider-Man lands, telling everyone, "You need to run!" And through the dust, Venom webs up Spider-Man, pulling him in and hitting him with a massive punch. Flash's mind tells Venom to stop.
We did do a Spider-Man last week as well, just on a quickie.
The more Flash tries to talk to the symbiote,
the more
he realizes there's
did that on there. Check that video out, guys.
Blinded by rage. And then Venom screams out, "Kill Spider-Man!" Back in Bushwick, Crime Master's henchmen begin unloading the helicopter, and that's when one of them notices something laying inside. He shows Crime Master, who looks at it, and then he pushes the man off the building. Seconds later, an explosion goes off. Over at the Project Rebirth facility, General Dodge says someone please correct him if he's wrong. But pushing that kill switch was supposed to blow up Venom, right? Catherine mentions, well, a bomb did go off, but it was over in Bushwick. Back in Brooklyn, the fight between Venom and Spider-Man rages on. But not long into it, Spider-Man begins beating Venom down, shouting, "Where is she?" Flash manages to mutter out, "Bomb!" And Spider-Man goes back to punching him, shouting, "What did you do with her?" Flash tries to back away and escape, but Spider-Man webs up his leg and slams him back into the ground. He then jumps into attack, but as he gets close, Venom turns back and cracks him across the face. The punch sends Spider-Man flying through a store, and Venom charges in, reaching out. But instead of grabbing Spider-Man, he grabs the sedatives next to him and starts downing hundreds of pills. Venom slowly stumbles away and says, "Warehouse, Valentine Lane." Spider-Man tries to figure out if he can trust him, but then Venom lifts a truck up and throws it. Flash tells Venom that he needs to stop, but if he doesn't, Betty is going to die. If he stays, Dodge will kill him. Does he want another host? Venom stops and thinks about it and decides he doesn't want another host. So he'll allow Flash to take back over. Flash rushes over to the warehouse, and just as he gets to it, it explodes. Everything is gone. Everything good in his life. Betty. He's not a hero, he's a villain. And then he sees Spider-Man escaping at the last second with Betty. Flash manages to say thank you, but Spider-Man tells him, "No, you're a deranged sicko. I'll find you again. Next time, you won't be thanking me." As the symbiote begins to pull back, Flash notices that during the fight, Spider-Man managed to place a tracker on him. So for now, he'll keep it. There will probably be a time when he needs Spider-Man to find him. Flash radios the Cathode that the vibranium shipment is in New York, and he's en route to stop it. Currently, he's still in control of the suit. As Flash swings through, little robot devils flutter around stating how they love his costume, and then they begin to breathe fire all over him. Flash manages to fight some of them off, but then Jack-O-Lantern flies back in, punching Flash off of the building. Jack tells him that he's kind of new at this. He's never really had a nemesis before, so he's going to chain him up for now. He then starts flying through the buildings, dragging Flash along, and just before he can kill him, Crime Master radios in. He says that vibranium is being intercepted by the government, the shipment he was supposed to guard. Jack takes off, stating that they'll have to continue this later, but he'll be seeing him around. Eugene. But before leaving, Flash managed to tack the locator the Spider-Man left on him, stating that he'll be seeing someone soon. A little while later, Flash, Betty, and Peter all sit in Betty's apartment after finally getting a chance to go home. Everyone begins to wonder why was it that Betty was targeted. She mentions that it might have been because of the recent crime story that she put out, and they just got upset. Peter says that it may have just been the monster trying to lure out Spider-Man, but Flash says maybe Spider-Man is just getting in the middle of something, like he's a trouble magnet. But before the argument of whether Spider-Man is good or bad for everyone, Betty says that maybe it's just all brought on by Betty Brant's crack journalism. They're just gonna have to wait and see what happens next. As Betty leaves, Flash and Peter sit on the couch. And Peter says, maybe she's just unlucky, ended up in the middle of something bad. And Flash tells him, yeah, that much is clear.
Yeah, like I said, this is going to be, you can kind of see what I'm doing. You can definitely see all this, but the little lines I'm putting here, I'll give you a zoom in when I get finished. I'll get close to it.
Right now, it's kind of contained. A bank robber that's strong enough to break out of webbing, a police officer that's able to take him out with a single punch, and maybe a wannabe vigilante. This is all a part of the latest plan from the Jackal, one of Spider-Man's worst villains. The man that is capable of cloning Peter Parker and is currently trying to see how far he can spread this disease, causing mild panic in the hospitals as people are coming in reporting sticky fingers and odd feelings. Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man himself, is off training with Madame Web, but more worried about his lack of spider sense. You see, Horizon Labs, the company that Peter Parker works for, accidentally created a device that jams Spider-Man's spider sense, and in response, he's been learning Kung Fu and how to properly fight from Shang-Chi and Madame Web herself. He calls it Spider-Fu. While Peter Parker is going back to his apartment because his girlfriend Carly Cooper wants to chat about something that she discovered, Jackal is moving forward with the next part of his plan. The revival of the first Peter Parker clone, the Misfit, the Reject, Kane. He's looking a little bit more like a spider though, and less like Peter Parker now. Over at Peter Parker's apartment, Carly shares an amazing secret with him. Somehow, She's gotten spider powers. She tells Peter this while standing on the ceiling of his apartment. Peter's in shock. So you got spider powers and you just come out and tell me? And just like that, she makes Peter feel like crap. Well, yeah, we're a couple, and this is what couples do. Who else am I going to share this with? Thanks, I guess. So after showing off her strength, she asks Peter that since he makes tech for Spider-Man, can he maybe make her some spider tech? Maybe he can even set her up with Spider-Man so that she could possibly become his sidekick. Can we just do something normal? I need to go drop Aunt May off at the airport. Oh, that's lame. I should go on patrol or something. That'd be awesome. Meanwhile, Jackal is putting the next phase of his plan into action. He goes to a local gang with his two enforcers, the Spider King and Tarantula. He hands the gang a box filled with Spider-Man uniforms, and he tells them that it's their lucky day. He then sets a bunch of criminals with spider powers loose on New York, all dressed up as Spider-Man. Mary Jane looks around at dozens of Spider-Men swinging around causing problems, and she says to herself that if we're doing the clone thing again, I swear I'm going back to LA. She then jumps underneath the car, saving the kid as various superheroes arrive, and Hawkeye shouts, "Everyone assemble!" Over at the George Washington Bridge, after dropping Aunt May and her husband off at the airport, Peter and Carly find themselves in a traffic gridlock when the radio host starts reporting about Spider-Man going crazy all over the town. Carly tells Peter sorry, she's a cop, and she gets on the roof, and then using her organic webbing, she's out of there. But as she leaves, she decides to tell Peter that this looks like a job for your friendly neighborhood Spider Cop. Peter then gets out of the car, so that's what that feels like. And then he sneaks off and changes and joins her as Spider-Man. Well, the real one. Meanwhile, back at Ground Zero with the Spider-Man attack, the Avengers and everyone else are shocked because every single one of these Spider-Men are as strong as Spider-Man himself. At least they aren't cracking the webhead's lame jokes, Hawkeye says, dropping another one of the black-suited Spider-Men. Speak for yourself, Hawkeye. That'd give me a bigger reason to pound them, Luke Cage says, preparing to punch another armored Spider-Man. But at that exact moment, Spider-Man, the real one, Peter Parker, comes swinging in and he sees Miss Marvel. Hey, Miss Marvel, I'm looking for a girl. And she knocks him on the ground. Great, now they're all getting pervy, she tells the rest of the superheroes. Peter gets back up and he tries to explain. I'm the real Spider-Man. But the Thing turns back to him. Yeah, like I haven't heard that 5 times already. And he clobbers Spider-Man. And Iron Fist comes in with a fully charged Iron Fist. So Shang-Chi jumps in to save the day. He was watching the whole thing unfold with Madam Web, and Madam Web can see into the future, and she saw this coming. But he refuses to stand by while Peter is getting beaten on by his friends. Hawkeye snaps at Shang. What are you doing? That's one of the bad guys. But Wolverine confirms it. Yeah, that one smells like ours. Plus, he ate a cherry Pop-Tart. Peter rubs his head, telling Wolverine, shh, I didn't bring enough for everyone. But everyone tells Peter that he has to get out of this fight. If he's here, everyone will be holding back just in case they might punch him. So sadly, Peter leaves and he changes back into his civilian clothes. He then runs over to Mary Jane and a reporter friend of his. And that gives him an idea. If Spider-Man can't join the fight, why couldn't Peter Parker? So he hands the camera to Mary Jane and he tells her to point it right at him. Keep him on frame. Hey, if you're watching this, then you know what's going on. Some New Yorkers woke up today with spider powers and now they're tearing our city apart. And all over the world, everyone's asking, why would they do that? Because everyone knows us as loud, rude, obnoxious jerks. Well, guess what? This morning, I woke up with spider powers just like the rest of you, and I'm going to do my part. My name's Peter Parker, and I'm a native New Yorker. And when I look around, I don't see a bunch of jerks. I see teachers, nurses, cops, parents, neighbors, and friends. Good people who give their all every day. I see heroes, and today, we're not just heroes, we're superheroes. So Peter Parker then swings back in with a bunch of regular people that got spider powers, ready to save the day. And they begin beating on the spider-powered villains, and Carly notices her boyfriend Peter is in the fray. But once all of the villains are nabbed up, things go into full swing. The spider flu is a disease that Reed Richards needs to cure, so they lock down New York and they quarantine it. No one gets in or out, and Peter then reports to Horizon Labs, while Spider Cop Carly gets to work trying to prevent the regular citizens from becoming superheroes. Reed takes Peter aside because he knows that Peter is really Spider-Man, and he takes his blood. The only thing that they know at first is that superpowered individuals aren't affected. It's only affecting normal people. But while they're searching for a cure, something else interesting is going on. Eddie Brock, now known as Anti-Venom, is running around trying to cure people of the spider flu. His symbiote can do it, and he's just crazy enough to think that he can be New York's savior. While Flash Thompson, aka Agent Venom, is also secretly jumping into New York to assist with this problem as a Black Ops operative. Back with Peter Parker, he has now joined Carly in her investigation because Reed got what he needed, and she decided that this whole thing sounds like something that an old Spider-Man villain, the Jackal, would do. So they swing themselves to the last known hideout of the Jackal to see what clues they can find out. But while they're tracking down the Jackal, Agent Venom has run into a bit of a problem on the nearby bridge as he's battling against King Spider, one of the Jackal's enforcers. He manages to use one of the local superheroes as a weapon by throwing him into the air and having him land on King Spider, knocking him unconscious. And then he hauls him off to his Black Ops unit to figure out who King Spider is. While the entire situation is a mess because King Spider broke free, Flash Thompson was able to get his symbiote back and he's about to kill King Spider. And that's when everyone discovers that King Spider is actually a transformed Steve Rogers. He's actually Captain America. So they subdue him, and Agent Venom uses his symbiote to change his appearance into King Spider, allowing him to go undercover into Jackal's organization. Meanwhile, back with Peter Parker and Carly, they've entered Jackal's lair only to find White Rabbit, Chance, and Scorcher waiting. Carly tells Peter that this is perfect. If the bad guys are here, that must mean Jackal's involved. They both leap into the air, dodging the flames coming from the Scorcher, and Peter throws out a web barrage, and Carly starts trying to fight against the White Rabbit, only to take a hit to her head. Seeing his girlfriend in trouble, Peter jumps onto White Rabbit using his spider food. And this confuses Carly, because if he had these crazy moves, why didn't he use them earlier? But that was all it took to wrap up the villains and haul them off. But before she goes, Carly tells Peter that she needs to talk to Spider-Man and him together. Figure out a way to get them both into the same location, because she needs to see them. Meanwhile, Anti-Venom is trying his best to cure everyone near him, but the civilians of New York don't want to be cured. They consider Eddie Brock's Anti-Venom a monster trying to take away their awesome powers. And he keeps trying to tell them that he is their savior. But all of these spider-powered individuals popping up is also causing issues for Madame Web, because she's now becoming overwhelmed with the amount of spider-powered people joining the Web of Life. It's overwhelming. She doesn't know what's causing it. Back with Spider-Man and Carly, he explains that she just missed Peter. And that's when they get a call to go stop Shocker because he's breaking into a bank during this whole thing, as odd as that is. When they get there, right off, Spider-Man can tell that something is wrong because the Shocker now has 6 arms. I need this money! I don't want to be a stupid freak, he shouts out as he begins throwing his beams all over the place. They said they could fix me if I got this money. Wait, Shocker, are you serious? Spider-Man says, dodging everything. And that's when the Shocker pulls off his mask to reveal the monster that he is changing into. Matters get even worse, though, as Carly begins changing into a full-on spider monster behind Peter Parker. And then the Web of Life goes to its extreme as people begin changing all over New York. Spider-Man looks in horror as everyone around him begins changing into these giant spider monsters, and they all begin to crawl away. He then hits his knees, feeling defeated because he lost track of Spider Carly. All of these spider monsters are going to one central location in Central Park, to the Spider Queen! It turns out that Jackal isn't the evil mastermind behind this plot. The Spider Queen is actually a woman named Adrian Soria, a woman with a history tied into Captain America and Spider-Man. She originally defeated them and then went into hiding until Captain America found her as she was starting her plans with the Jackal. So she defeated him with her new superpowers and had him changed. At that moment, Agent Venom, disguised as King Spider, arrives at the location. He kneels before the Queen and they accept him. The plan worked. Meanwhile, back with Anti-Venom, he's retreated into a church where there are now mutated spider people that have changed their tune and they're begging for him to cure them. He decides to take his role as the savior to heart. He'll cure them all! Back at Horizon, Mayor Jonah Jameson has decided that he has his own plan, and he demands that his bodyguards take him to the emergency command center. Of course, this is a terrible idea as his convoy is quickly under attack from the giant spider monsters, and Spider-Man has to swing in to save the day. But Jameson refuses to be saved by Spider-Man again, and he gets out of his car using his own spider powers to start fighting against the monsters with Spider-Man. J. Jonah Jameson, the sensational Spider-Man, too many quips. My brain is overloading, Spider-Man says. Not another word, Jameson says, joining him in the fight. Meanwhile, back with the Spider Queen, she now gets news that there is someone named Eddie Brock, otherwise known as Anti-Venom, out curing the spider flu. So she decides to send the Spider King off to kill Anti-Venom, not realizing that she actually just sent Agent Venom off. Over at the command center, Spider-Man and Jameson arrive, and Spider-Man sees Jameson's plan to use Alistair Smite, the Spider Slayer, against the spider monsters. With everyone telling him that he's insane, Jameson walks over to Smite. How do I stop a whole city of spiders? But since Jameson has displayed spider powers, he is also connected to the web, the same web that the Spider Queen is using to manipulate the spider monsters. And she makes Jameson remember his own wife being killed by Smite. Jameson begins to change and morph into the giant spider monsters, and he lunges at Alistair, biting him on the neck and killing him. Meanwhile, across the town at the church, Agent Venom has arrived to get Eddie Brock, but Brock recognizes the Venom symbiote and he begins to freak out. He tells Agent Venom that Venom is a leech and it'll change its owner like it did to him. But Agent Venom tells him that he's not a mass murderer. So Anti-Venom throws Agent Venom out of the church and he tries to cure him, wiping out the symbiote to finally get his revenge against it. But Agent Venom manages to kick Anti-Venom off of him. The two duke it out even more, with Flash Thompson slowly losing control of the symbiote. Venom is mad and Flash can't keep it in check. Once Anti-Venom gets Agent Venom back onto the ground, he starts to get ready to cure it again. And Flash freaks out, throwing the whole symbiote onto Anti-Venom. Now, without having any control over it, it starts to try and take control of Eddie, and it begins to try and get rid of his Anti-Venom so it can go home, where it belongs. It wants to become the true Venom again. But Flash begs it, "Come back, return to me, I need you." The symbiote considers it, and it leaves Eddie Brock for Flash Thompson again, leaving Eddie unconscious. Agent Venom picks him up and he drops him off with Reed Richards back at Horizon Labs, where Eddie willingly gives up his Anti-Venom symbiote for Reed to use, even if it'll turn Eddie back to normal again. He'll be the savior! All Agent Venom had to do was ask. Back with Mary Jane, she's finally gotten spider powers after everyone else around her has already completely changed. In using them, she's trying to save people and become a spider-powered individual. It's time for Spider Jane, people! And then back over at the Emergency Command Center, Spider-Man is fighting against a super-powered Jameson trying to kill everyone. Luckily, he was able to knock him out and web him up. He then runs over to Alistair. "We can save you!" But Alistair knows that he's done, and he tells Spider-Man that he already has the answer: the Spider Slayers. Meanwhile, Reed has used the Anti-Venom symbiote to come up with a cure, and he injects it into one of Peter's co-workers to check if it works. And it does. But the moment that he changes her back, the Queen knows, because she can feel Reed severing people from the Great Web. Realizing that them having a cure isn't good for their plans, Jackal suggests that they send their other enforcer to destroy the cure. Send in the monstrous Kane. Back at Horizon Labs, Madam Web has figured out why she can't see the future. It's not just the fact that there are so many spiders, it's the fact that this problem is combined with the spider jammers. Together, there are too many visions and she can't find a correct path to the future. She teleports into Horizon Labs into a ball of fire, and she tells the fools there to turn off their jammers. Not only does it block Spider-Man, but it also disrupts her visions. Fix it now! Spider-Man, on the other hand, is returning to his lab to see if he can figure out what Alistair is talking about. And he slips in like he always does, but he does find it odd that the computer is already reading him inside. He drops into the lab, and Kane jumps on him. Kane begins to swing at Spider-Man, and Spider-Man tries to convince him to stop. Kane is just doing the Jackal's bidding again. He's better than this. But Kane can't hear him. He just hears the Jackal's orders, and he swings at Spider-Man again. So Spider-Man goes to plan B, and he starts using his spider foo on Kane. But Kane isn't even affected, and he throws Spider-Man to the ground. "Seeing your moves. Got them on tape." With Spider-Man on the ground, Kane runs over to the doors, and using his Parker DNA, he gets inside where the cure is being manufactured off of the end.
Okay, I'm just going to pause that there a second and say I'm pretty much done on the inking now. Yeah, so I'm pretty much done on the inking, guys. I'll give you a quick zoom in on what I've done with inking. Like I said, it was just me going over. Excuse me. It was just me going over what I've already drawn. Because like I said, I did a load of sketching yesterday, and I did extra sketching off stream yesterday. But yeah, we've gotten to the point where I've inked it now, and all I can put in here is colors. We've got obviously going to be black for the Venom side, and then we're going to be using probably a pencil like we did for the Spider-Man last week. And then what I'll do with that is add a little bit more with the Copic marker brush pens and the Copic marker other felt tippy type pens, double-sided, so they're like a thicker and a thinner sides. But check those pens out tomorrow, guys, because I'll be using them. Check out what I'm going to be doing, because the inking stage is done. Tomorrow we'll be colouring in. What day is tomorrow? Wednesday. It might be a little bit earlier because I've not got a meeting tomorrow. But yeah, I do about 40 minutes each time when I do a picture. I try and keep it as close to an hour as possible. So we're getting to that close to about 43 minutes in now. But if you have enjoyed this, guys, don't forget to leave a like. I know you have already, Alex, so thank you very much for doing that. Don't forget to hit subscribe. My name's Blut084, BLUT084, Art and Games. And if you're watching back, there should be a link that will appear up here, and down here. And sometime, somewhere in the middle, you can hit that to hit subscribe, or to scroll down and hit that red button, which is right next to the thumbs up. If you have liked it, thank you very much for watching, guys. Don't forget to come back tomorrow, where I'll be finishing this off with some colouring, Copic marker, pencils, or just general felt tips. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time. Leave a comment in the comment section after the video is finished being live if you would like to hear anything in particular from the Venomverse, or if you want a link to Comic Story in themselves. Like I said, guys, this is done for now. I'll give you a quick zoom in, show you what I've done, and then I'll heads off. So we've done the basic inking there, added in a hell of a lot of dark lines, and I'm really glad that it's black for Venom. And the eye there, 2 eyes. As I said, I've already got shading on for what I put it. I'm going to leave all of that shading on there, I think. Don't think I'm going to get rid of any of the construction lines or anything like that this time. And say I'm done for now. What do you think there, Alex? Well, we're done. Give you a zoom in on that eye. His mouth there. I'll put a bit of colour to those teeth as well, and I'm planning on giving him gums and some sort of tonal colour to this mouth, purely because I don't want to leave it. I don't want to put it all in black because it would just be way too much black around the mouth as well as on the thing. So I'll be putting some pinks and all sorts of good colours there. Tongue will obviously be a bit pinky, but I'm done for today, and I will. Oops. I'm done for today, and I will see you in the next one, which will be tomorrow, guys. I will be live, so don't forget to hit subscribe and come on back tomorrow. Like I said, if you would like a link to any of the things that I listen to, ask me in the comment section after the stream has ended, and I will put a link there for you guys to find it. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. My name's been Blue084. Inking finished. Colouring tomorrow. See you again. Bye-bye for now. Don't forget to keep checking back, because I got a feeling I'm going to be playing a computer game. I think I might play, because I've got an hour before my son comes home, a VR game. Might play, because of this gooey goo, I might go and play a bit of Resident Evil. I'm not sure. Let me know what you want to see of what games I've already got before I'm gone. You can tell me over on Instagram, Luke084 Art and Games. Same name, different place. Bye for now until tomorrow. Thanks, guys.